teens licking toes inside a high school gymnasium.
He is devouring them!
Boys and girls, if you sell 10 items, you actually get 5 prizes. Boys and girls, you also get the fiber optic light. Now, boys and girls, UFO flyer. Boys and girls, there's some really cool prizes that you can earn. You can't buy these prizes, you can earn them through hard work.
All right, and we're rolling. Hello. If you're anything like me, you probably found yourself in Cub or Girl Scouts, like a youth sports program or any generic school extracurricular. You probably had to do some type of fundraising at some point. And based on what the fundraising was or what you had to do it for, you might have mixed emotions about it, kind of like myself. And you might have different perspectives on it, especially the older I get. I remember my first exposure to fundraising was through Cub Scouts and popcorn. That was the first thing we ever had to do. And I remember what sticks out the most is the popcorn being super, super expensive. I remember my parents weren't afraid to tell me that. People I was selling to weren't afraid to tell me that. It was like $20, $30 a fucking bucks for generic ass popcorn that nobody wanted. The second thing I remember the most is the prizes. They would have somebody come in who's like in charge of the fundraiser, or in this case like the Cub Scout rep or something, and they would come in and they sound a lot like used car multi-level marketing type scheme energy. You know, they come out and they're like super hype, super excited. They know how to talk to kids. They know all the right catchphrases, all the right catchwords. Yeah, and they come out and they offer these crazy prizes and cash, or pizza parties, or limousine rides, or just any type of crazy prize you can think of. And most of these prizes were like from the dollar store, Tootsie Rolls, and you know, it was basically like Chuck E. Cheese or any type of place like that. And, you know, they had the very bottom shelf stuff, and they offered brander of PlayStations, cash money, you know, anything you can imagine. Yeah, and Cub Scout fundraising wasn't terrible. What's extra funny too is when I look up some of the prizes of this year, like what they're doing now, you know, it's very similar awards: video games, air hockey tables, speakers, guitars, Lego sets, little gift cards, Nerf guns. I found a little chart of, I don't know if this was like worldwide or nationwide, or if this was just for like this state or something, but the 2022 top sellers. Number 1 raised $4,700 in corn funds. If you break it down, if you wanted cash money on this prize popcorn thing, on this flyer, he would be able to get a little less than $300. So they show you, even if you're out there grinding, making almost $10K in popcorn sales, it's not possible. Like, they put this at, like, they're dangling the carrot in front of the kid's face is essentially what they're doing. And, you know, it's fine to promise these things because it's not like they're not going to deliver, but it's like, it's literally impossible with the time frame that they're selling, because it's normally like a week or two long, and that's it. You couldn't get grown adults slinging corn, slinging cookies, and making $20K in a week or two. Like that, it's preposterous. Yeah, and just to show it, the popcorn ranges anywhere from $15 to $50, and they've lessened their inventory a whole lot. This all looks like shit. It's all like really shitty, just bags of popcorn. I remember in my day, it was like mainly boxes that you would pop yourself, or like tins. Like, we used to have tins, so at least you got something to like keep. You can go to the store and buy the same shit from the same supplier for pennies on the dollar, and you can argue, well, then you're not fundraising. You're essentially donating and getting free popcorn, Brandon. It's not about the popcorn. It's like, then fucking give me something that I want, or don't even give me popcorn. Because like I'm about to say, just donate the money then. Because now you got kids, or ship it out. You'd have kids going door to door selling popcorn to strangers, and I can't tell you how many times looking back I was offered into random people's houses. I would do this shit by myself. I'd go walk around the neighborhood. I'd sell door to door. I'd have people come in. They'd be like, "Oh, would you like to come in? Would you like some water or something?" And I knew better, even though I'm a fucking ugly ass, fat, prepubescent Cub Scout. I knew I wasn't about to get diddled, but still, I was like, no, I'm good. I'll stay out here. But yeah, not only would you have to go door to door and sell it, you would have to door to door deliver it too. They wouldn't ship this shit out. You would have to go get it from the school, from the Cub Scout, from whoever, and take this shit door to door back to the people. Every single one of these fundraisers, I mean, rightfully so, it's during the summertime. You got to get it while the people are at home. But in Oklahoma, where I am, it was very hot. I remember sweating my patches off, stumbling over driveways trying to slinging this corn. It wasn't happening. And no one's gonna buy $50 worth of popcorn when you can get like 8 dozen cookies from a Girl Scout for that. Like, the comparison between Cub and Girl Scouts is uncomparable. Like, no wonder they sell so many goddamn cookies. Nobody wants a fucking $50 popcorn. My second experience with school fundraising, and now it was still in the slinging foods and snacks to people. I was now in middle school. This was for band. I remember we had to sell the world's finest chocolate, and the world's finest chocolate was fine. Kids loved it. It sold all right, and I thought it was super interesting too because this was right around the same time Michelle Obama had took all the good snacks out of the vending machine.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So people were dying to get that candy. And since it was a fundraiser and we were raising funds, this didn't have to correlate with any of the state regulations for like health and not being able to sell like candy bars to kids. So now that they had that out of the way and they kind of had a loophole, by selling snacks for fundraising in school, you could sell whatever the fuck you wanted. And I thought it was crazy too because you would get a box at a time from your director. They take down your name, and then once you sold the whole box, you would bring them the box with the money in it. You know, in theory, that works out fine. I don't know, growing up, I guess I knew we always had to pay for the chocolate, but I didn't think that it was 50%, maybe not, if more, goes back to the chocolate company. My whole point in kind of making this video is that all these fundraisers just seem super lazy, super corporate, when in my mind I'm like, why don't we just host like a bake sale? And it was crazy too. I remember a few kids, you know, rightfully so, you can't just take a box of chocolate and not bring any money back. But I remember there were a few people, specifically like girls, they're like 10, 12-year-old girls, sobbing because they either lost their box on the school bus or somebody stole it. Or I remember this happened a few times. It happened at least once a year. And you know, it's not a big deal, but it's like most of these kids where I came from like did not have the fucking 50. That's why we were raising money for the school trip, was with the chocolate. It's because kids didn't have money to just fork over $100 or $200 to go on the little trip that we wanted to go on. And again, you can be like, well, Brandon, you just answered it right there. You're raising money for the trip that you wanted to go on. And it's like, yeah, with this chocolate, but again, we're only getting 50% of the proceeds when we could be doing things to get 90 to 100% of the profits. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Not just give our money and time to this lazy corporation that's just there to shill chocolate. The trip that we wanted to go on and we're raising this money for like a month, we didn't even get to go on the trip. We were going to go to Six Flags in Texas or something, and there was like supposed to be a tornado or something, and I remember it didn't even rain, not only here but like the whole path that we were about to take the whole day. Like it pissed me off, and we didn't even go on another trip. That was just it. I don't know what they did with the money, but that was it. And I've also heard many rumors and speculations about the world's finest chocolate coming primarily from child labor, which is a big accusation, but at the same time they're super vague, and they don't mention where their chocolate directly comes from on their website. They actually just say it comes directly from the cocoa bean. No shit, you know what I mean? And it's also crazy about World's Finest Chocolate. You can go directly on their website and buy boxes of this for about half price, which in theory seems fine. Like, you just want some chocolate for yourself, but it's like, what's stopping me from buying 50 boxes on their website and going door to door and saying I'm with cancer research? You know, like, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. They ship it in the fundraiser box and everything. And I've even seen this shit at like Dollar General up on the counter. I'm assuming it's like from an employee raising money for their kid or something, but I've seen this multiple times with zero explanation. So like, they could just be buying this to make a quick buck at the end of the day, you know? Yeah, and it's extra shitty too when you consider that if this product is made by kids, being sold by kids, being 100% profited by adults, it's extra shitty. The profit for World's Finest Chocolate is insane. They have their revenue per employee ratio is $1.5 million. You think each employee's making 1.5? But fuck no. This is all going in one man's pocket. He's got 200 employees that, you know, just reach out to, you know, employees. These are call centers, reaching out to schools, reaching out to people, answering questions, running the website. They're chocolate salesmen, and they're trying to get people to buy their shit to raise money for their school, which again seems fine, but it's like you're taking 50% of this shit and giving it to one person. It's ridiculous. And again, it's not like they were making us sell chocolate, but if your parents didn't want to fork over like $300, you were basically forced to. It seems weird that the only alternative is to sell something, go door to door for nothing in return. And again, I say nothing in return. Yeah, we're raising money for a trip. We didn't go on the trip, so what was all that work for? I know that's like the worst case scenario. I remember I had snacks, drinks, I was ready to go. Canceled. My final exposure to any type of fundraising was again through school. Now I was in high school, and this was through football. And this was by far the worst fundraiser we ever had to do. Keep in mind, we're 15 to 19 years old now. We're in a lot of smart kids. A lot of us were held back. And some of us were 19 years old. And you had, again, the same cracked out.
Boys and girls, there's some really cool prizes that you can earn. You can't buy these prizes, you can earn them through hard work.
Super energetic guy coming in. Hey kids, today we're selling It was these stupid little coupon cards that had 50% off a game card at Dave & Buster's, half off a car wash, free french fries at Applebee's. Literally just shit like that. Nothing anybody wanted. And most of these things you could get from signing up for a free emailing list or loyalty program probably. So it's just extra shitty. And we were selling these things for $20 a pop. And the best part, this is another 50% take. And they sling it as it's a zero risk fundraiser, because if you sell 10, then you only sell 10, no worries, you know what I mean? We'll take half and go about our day. Sell season tickets, sell burgers, sell hot dogs, do bake sales, do fucking anything other than us using these stupid ass cards that you punish us for not selling. I remember we weren't forced to sell these through football, but the more you sold, the less you had to run.
What kind of place is this?
You might as well put a fucking gun to my head. They could have made it way more community driven, and just way more fun for everybody. Like make football fun again, you know, because this was pre-COVID too, and it was still shitty. Local sponsors, auctions, silent auctions, car washes, bake sales. You know, I would have loved to go wash a car, shake my man titties out for somebody, make somebody laugh. You know, I would have much rather done that than sweat my ass off in my friend's Jeep Grand Cherokee with no fucking AC in the middle of July, going door to door trying to sell, "Hello sir, would you like a coupon card?" to grown adults essentially stuck in high school. Hell no. It's crazy because we already have kids licking toes for fundraisers miles away from us. Is this the best we can come up with? And these cards were, I'm gonna harp on dynamic fundraising. You know, there's 10,000 of these bullshit little fundraising card companies that come and go, but this is just the one that we use. That's the one I'm going to talk about. They'll come out, they'll promise prizes. You know, they're promising adults prizes like, "Hey, you want the new speakers?" Well, everybody has $400 beats around their neck. It's just so funny. Gold, everybody's got gold chains, teeth. It's just a rough group of kids to be trying to say, "Hey kids, let's sell some coupon cards." Go to hell. And I remember after driving around for 2 hours, having sold like a card or two, and going back and reporting what we had sold to my coach. And I remember we were all in line. This isn't like I got in late. I only sold one, coach, sorry. Probably a quarter of the team didn't sell anything. I'm not even joking. We're in a line outside of the coach's room. I go in here. I give him the money. I tell him how many I sold. And before I leave, he stops me. He goes, "Brandon, you know all these new jerseys and weights and equipment that I've bought in the past few years? You think I just shit that out of my ass?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm not the fucking worst one here." Targeted out for sure. Targeted out. Yeah, if you made me sell popcorn, chocolate, stupid fundraising cards, if you made me sell any of this shit, I personally resent you for not one, being more creative and coming up with a better idea to fundraise when this is your whole ass job, is to be around a bunch of fucking kids all day. That's already weird enough in my opinion. If you want to be a fucking high school coach and in this day and age, in this economy, it's a little weird, especially when they all fucking suck ass. Like, and two, there's no one that has brain cells that cannot see these as scams. They're taking 50%, if not more, than free child labor. And that's what pisses me off. I think it indirectly puts these kids in the level of multi-level marketing brain when they graduate high school and they see products like Scentsy or these stupid ass like yoga mats or just any type of multi-level marketing scheme. They're basically the same thing. It's they promise prizes, they promise cars, they promise all types of cool things if you get out there and sell, and you get out there and sell, and you end up fucking penniless, and you end up upset at the end of the day, and you wonder what did I do, when it was the program that failed you at the end of the day. It was the coaches, the teachers, the influencers that trusted you and your time with your safety going door to door. It's just so discouraging. This is the best you can come up with, and you get mad when kids don't sell it, and you get mad when parents don't buy because we need to make some money. Better call Tommy Boy with them coupon cards. It's like, really? And that's all you're doing is making a phone call. You get shipped the cards, and then you force your kids to sell it. That's not creative, engaging, fun. Fuck you. When we're already in a culture of scamming and scam culture, it's like people are going to think that these group of kids are up to no good anyways, especially if they come up with printable coupon cards and world's finest chocolate you can buy online. Like, Show me the school put together something and I will give money to it. By doing this, kids are going to grow up thinking door-to-door sales are welcome and invited, when in reality they're the most fucking scummy people on the face of the earth. I'm sure you've seen videos of people refusing to leave houses, coming back, harassing residents. It's like, it's telling all this that this is okay and a proper acceptable way to make money, or a proper acceptable way to shill your business or product or whatever.
No,
We just do everything just
I don't
for
care, man.
39 bucks a month.
Just because of this, I will never call you, okay? Get out of my yard. I don't have time.
Yeah, we just out here.
God damn, dude.
We have to do everything for
Okay.
Done the worst way possible, for the worst way possible, by the worst people possible. If you did participate in any of these fundraisers, you know the only kids who did shine or did get that cool fucking Bose stereo system were the kids who would take that shit to their mom's law firm. You know, they had super rich cousins or uncles or family or something. So not only are you giving rich more riches and the poor more poor, it's kind of shaming people, because if you come from a really poor background, you're not going to get money from mom or dad. And if you come from a really poor background, think of the area you're in. It's probably a poor area.
Quote, all these shithole countries here.
You think you're going to go door to door and sell? It's not going to happen. So then you get punished for being poor at the end of the day. None of these fundraisers or foundations are inherently evil or bad at the end of the day, but when you just consider how low effort and lazy they are, it quickly becomes a scheme and a scam at the end of the day. Yeah, so my biggest gripe is that World's Finest Chocolate uses child labor through and through by making it to selling it to just put money in old Ed Oppler's fucking pockets. And Dynamic sucks because it essentially offers you 2 to 3 deals you want on this card. Let's say you do buy, you maybe want a deal or two on this thing. You feel bad for the kid. You're like, oh, well, I go to Applebee's, I'll take some free fries. And you could get that shit from a loyalty program probably. And in a world of disposable everything and over-consumerism, topped with the fact people have never been so lonely, I just think that instead of shilling these products to people, I think we should focus our energy on community events and things to bring people together instead of selling popcorn and calendars to people who don't give a shit. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I just think it's super discouraging to be preying on kids, for kids, by kids, to claim to be making money. And imagine the tax cuts these people get for being fundraisers and shit. This money's going all directly in their pockets. And it's just crazy because it's all run by a handful of people. I think when I looked it up, Dynamic Fundraising had like 3 employees. So it's literally just this guy who decided to say, hey, I'm going to be a piece of shit and start a fundraising company. And I had to do it. And I got shamed at the end of the day for not doing it. So that's super cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you had to participate in any different or similar fundraisers. I'd love to know. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow me on anything and everything at EXX47. Thanks.
Boys and girls, if you sell 10 items, you actually get 5 prizes.
Shut the fuck up! Hey!